Like, I want to learn how to make beats and like, I'm a writer, so I can write crazy.
Love
so
that.
I'm like, let me make some songs.
Hey, we know a couple producers. We just,
Let's do
our
it.
last episode before you, Eon Zero.
Let's get them in.
Bro, Eon.
Let's
KJ,
do it.
what you got going
And KJ, what you got going on,
KJ,
man?
what you got going on? You have any time?
Yeah,
We
let's
gotta
go.
clip that.
For my brothers, for my family, for my mama, for my friends, for my bros. I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for breaks.
You said something, but before I ask the question, I want to introduce you to the podcast. So we have on Alexa Luria, health and wellness fanatic, spiritual expert, and we're going to get into it a little bit. It's going to be a great conversation. But you said something about how the last two birthdays you spent alone, and with you being like kind of this health, wellness, spiritual person, I wanted to ask you, because I love like that stuff. How important is alone time for you?
The most. Like, I live in solitude. I love it.
that.
I'm an only child, so I like,
Okay.
yeah, grew up like I have me. That's where we're at. Arts and crafts. We love going on walks. Like, I recharge when I'm by myself. I get inspired around others, and I love being out in the world and experiencing. Also, like, my friends are my family, so I have like a ton of chosen family, the most ever, and I have an amazing actual family too. But,
Of course.
Yeah, but I like.
Wow, I relate to that a lot. I think because like Joshua's very extroverted, and I think I'm somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah,
like
I would say so.
I think that I like being around people, but also it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I need my time.
I feel like I like being around people, and I feel like why I like talk so much and why I like being around other people is just because we had 3 other brothers, but it was weird because
3 other?
well,
we have
two,
five of you?
two older,
two older, so like 3 other than me. So
Four-
I was
four
You have-
boys.
This is 4 boys.
Yeah, so when I was
Wow.
We drove my mom
Good
crazy.
for your mom. I know. I was like, wow.
so I like
That's different.
Exactly. So like I had 3 brothers always around me for the most part till I was like 16. And then when I moved out of my house at 16, I was around my team, so I'd always have like playing sports. So I'd always have like a bunch of people always around me.
What kind of sports?
Hockey. I was a hockey player.
Work.
Yes, and Zachary played baseball. So
Hockey, like ice hockey?
ice
or-
hockey.
Ooh,
yeah,
fun.
ice hockey. Yeah,
Did you ever go to Florida?
I have gone to Florida.
There's Panthers Arena.
I haven't been in the Panthers arena. I've been to like the Everblades. Do you know what the Florida Everblades are? Or like Orlando Solar Bears?
It's the ECHL.
You can
hockey
teach
league.
me.
Yeah,
There's always more to learn.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like that's like if you're in Florida, I promise you that might be more fun than a Panthers game.
I'm in.
It's fun.
Let's go.
So Joshua,
And sorry to cut you off, but like the Florida Everblades, they're back-to-back champions.
Where are they?
They're in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
So Fort Myers and then Orlando, but so it's like double A. So it's under like the Panthers or the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't think they're actually affiliate teams with them, but it's just like that.
We
step
could go to the Everblades and then
Yes.
go to Disney.
Sounds like
never been to
sounds like a
Disney.
great plan.
never
What?
been to Disney.
What are you talking about?
I've been to Universal Studios, Islands of Adventures. What's it? Like, what's the water park? What's the water park? Like Wet and Wild or something like that? Or
Well, that's
No,
Cedar
there's
Point.
one.
is that Cedar Point? There's a water park in Orlando. I can't remember. I was young when
Disney's
I went.
like
There is a
massive.
water park.
Disney's
There's a
massive.
bunch. Like Typhoon Lagoon.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't
That's one of
that.
them.
Disney's so big. Like there's
Have
like,
you been to Disney?
Oh yeah. I used to my like ex-girlfriend in high school,
Mm-hmm.
her aunt used to be like the head makeup designer at Disney.
Sick.
So she used to I used to fly down there because they moved to Florida, and we would just go down there, and her aunt would just give us these cards
Mm-hmm.
that were like VIP, bro. You get into any fucking place you want. Get like skip to the front of the. I was like, bro, I'm like, it's hard for me now. I'm like, how do I go back to Disney when I had that experience?
You find a way.
I'm like, I have to do the VIP. I got to pay like the $3,500, or I'm like, I can't go. I'm already ruined. I've ruined it.
Here's the thing. I understand, and I completely get it. But I feel like for me, there's always a way. There's something called a lightning lane.
Oh.
So basically, you can buy it at the beginning of the day. The lines are super quick, and you can only book one at a time. But you can book one every 2 hours. So there's secrets.
Okay, so
I know all the
Interesting.
secrets.
Okay, so you.
I love Disney.
Okay, so you're just a Disney pro. All right.
Amusement parks are. I don't know. I don't like roller coasters at all.
Yeah.
I love
Like
roller
I
coasters.
hate roller
Have
coasters.
you?
It just
Why do you
scares me.
hate them?
Heights. I have a huge fear of heights.
That thrill,
Like
though?
I don't like looking over like balconies. Like
Where does
if there's a
sun
rail,
from?
like if I look down,
Where's the root?
I don't know. I used to have a ton of dreams or like nightmares as kids of me like falling off cliffs and then waking up. I don't know if it was in like a past life I like got pushed off a cliff, but
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm really curious because we were talking about this. I love roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I like love heights because like I bet if I like went skydiving today, I'd like shit my pants, right?
That's scary. That's different though. That's not
sure.
heights.
That's completely different.
That's terrifying.
That's terrifying, right?
and the best. That's
the best way.
amazing.
And I think so. We're
Good for whoever does it.
our future vlog
Yeah.
is gonna be. We're gonna take my brother. I'm gonna make like my mom do it.
Okay.
Because she would be gold.
Skydiving?
Actually,
No way.
Actually, no.
Mom might do
she
it.
Might. She might make
She
us
might
look
like
bad.
it.
She might like be like.
She
you
likes
guys are-
roller
I
coasters.
kind of feel like your mom kills it.
No,
Oh, she
our mom's a
does.
badass.
Like she's an icon.
No, she's a badass.
She's for boys.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And we were like,
you got to be some sort of special.
like
Oh, for sure.
We were not easy children. Like
No.
we were not. Like
Really?
we have nieces.
I'm surprised.
We have nieces, and I'm like, and at first I was like, they're two, and I'm like, I first saw them, I'm like, oh man, it'd be sick if we had like some little boys. I'm
Yeah.
like, thank God they're girls. Like they're so sweet. They're like, just want to like hang out and play. And
You
then
need
like
it.
my other buddy has a nephew. This thing's a little devil, little bowling ball, runs around, breaking stuff, throwing stuff, jumping around. I'm like, dude, this is exhausting.
It's definitely a different
I
vibe.
like the little girls. They're like, let's read a book. I'm like, oh, this is easy. This is
That's
easy.
it.
So as we get into you, because we obviously, like, you just met Joshua the other day. I kind of met you in passing. Give us and everybody else listening a 10,000 foot view of who Alexa is.
10,000 foot. So I'm like, can you see me?
This
I
is
mean,
like,
we can make it 5,000 if you want.
we're like jumping from a
10
plane.
10K is fine. Okay, we're jumping from a plane. Hello, I'm Alexa. I love all things health and wellness. I grew up in Boca Raton, Florida. I am mostly passionate about people. I feel like I was brought here to kind of like help and heal anyone in my path. But I've learned, it's cliche, but you literally have to heal yourself and help yourself in order to do that
1,000,000%.
first.
That is
Cliche
facts.
things are true, by the way.
Yeah.
All of them.
For sure.
It makes there's a reason why they were there, right?
All of them.
Like it's sometimes they're corny, but you're like, fuck that.
Yeah. So I've been on this journey in life trying to figure out like what brings me the most joy, how I can bring people the most joy. I went to college, lived in New York, worked in corporate, worked for myself the last 6 years, have a food vlog. I'm a health coach. I've done countless things. I'm working on actually becoming a life coach also. So I'm excited about that.
I love that.
Doing the Jay Shetty certification program.
Jay Shetty's incredible.
He's the best.
I love Jay.
We love him.
That's
Have
awesome.
you met him?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah,
He's
that's
amazing.
awesome. He's really good. I think his story is super interesting with him being like a monk and now he's like trying to do this like podcast and writing books things. It's incredible. But you said two things I want to pull on. One, Boca Raton, Florida. Boca's incredible. I
You
love
been?
Boca. I actually lived there for like a month and a half.
No way.
Don't let him
so
lie.
I-
Don't let him lie to you. He was drafted the Miami Marlins, so he was playing. In
Word.
the organization.
Yeah, so
Okay, so you're sports guys.
Yeah, we're sports guys.
You're sports guys.
recovering sports guys.
We're retired.
Retired.
Retired
I say
average.
recovering.
Retired.
I say recovering.
You're
too.
gonna get back to it. I feel it.
Who knows? Hey, maybe that's what we
Just for
do.
fun.
Maybe like I could do something in the sports realm, but I don't have like any desire to like play anymore. I love
Yeah.
being around it though, like the energy, the people. Like I like
The
that.
competitiveness.
should.
I like the competitiveness.
all it
Like
is.
I like guys.
can tell.
I like the win. Like I mean, why are you doing something if you don't want to win? Like you want to be a health coach, life coach. Like you're not like I don't want to be like the 10th best. You're like no, I want to be the fucking best life coach. Because then you're just,
just
helping
wanna
more
help
people.
people.
Exactly. But then if you're the best, you're helping the most people.
You're right.
You're helping the most. Like
You
know
can
what I
help
mean?
me with this mindset. For me, I'm just like, I don't even think about, oh, I want to be the best at it.
Right.
I'm just like, I am so excited to
That's a
help as
great-
many people.
That's
as
a
I
great. I
possibly
mean,
can.
that's just like that's a happy mindset to me. Like you know what I mean? Where you're just
But
like,
maybe let's share.
yeah. I mean, I
Let's
think
share.
there's a happy blend, right?
Happy medium.
Where I could be like, yo, you know, just enjoy it. So that's part of half the battle. You got to enjoy the process of like what you're doing. But
I definitely want to impact the most people I possibly can.
yeah, I mean, like why not? Like if you could be the best life coach, you're like Tony Robbins, for example. I think like
I love
Tony,
Tony Robbins.
he's selling out stadiums and he's
Yeah.
helping a stadium worth of people. Like
No,
and
I
don't-
know.
not to discredit the person who's only helping 50 people, but like if you could help a stadium of people, shit.
Well, you know, I'm sure you know this, but Gary said like years ago, he had this wine show And he said 9 people would come every Friday or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And he was like, you got to treat the 9 like the 9 million.
For sure.
And if you don't have the 9 million, but you're not appreciating the 9,
For sure.
it's not going to happen.
1,000. That's so spot on.
So I can't wait for my first 9.
We
you know
deal.
what I mean?
That's
My
this.
first
I love
one.
that.
That's this podcast right
love
now.
that.
It's just facts.
That's one thing I've thought a lot about as like we've done this like content and like as you like talk to people like with bigger audiences. It's like I've even thought about it where I'm like, I think me and Joshua will succeed in kind of grow an audience, but at the same time, it's like it kind of makes me nervous where I'm like, we're kind of getting an audience now, and I feel like I can't give enough time to them. So now it's like, what if we had millions and hundreds of millions of people that like loved you? It's hard for me to like feel like I'm giving them an effort because it matters. Like I care a lot about people who like listen to our content, watch our comment, like a video, comment, because it's important. Like it's pushing it to other people. It's about engaging that. But one thing I want to pull on that
Can
you
I give
said.
you advice? But I want you to say it.
No,
say it
no,
and
no.
then
Give
I'll
your
say it. Really
give your
quick.
advice.
Day by day. When it
For
comes,
sure.
you'll be ready.
That
Everything is aligned.
I really
For
like
sure.
your mindset because I relate to it a lot. I definitely try. I think one thing I really struggled with like a couple years ago before I kind of went down this spiritual journey as well was it's easy to look ahead and it's easy to look in the past, but it's so hard to stay here.
hard.
It's so hard.
So hard. You gotta constantly bring yourself. That's why it's called balance.
So-
balance isn't staying here. Balance is, oops, I went up there. Oops, I fell down there.
Yeah.
How do I try my best to kind of coast in the middle?
So what do you do to stay in the middle?
Oh my God. Breathe. Try my best to breathe. Remember that I have my breath when I'm feeling like I don't.
Yeah.
I have a lot of wellness practices that keep me super grounded. My nervous system, I nourish her as much as I possibly can. She is everything. I've definitely experienced like lots of panic attacks, anxiety, and like I have Lyme disease, so I deal with like a lot of health stuff. I'm working on it. I don't like identifying with it anymore because it's not helping me. You know what I
Right.
mean? For a while I was like, oh my
Right.
God, I'm in a flare, whatever. Now I wake up and I'm like, this might be a flare, but like I'm just a little fatigued today. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it easy. Maybe I
Right.
won't go to solid core, but it's like I'll go on a walk.
Right.
But yeah, I would say mindset. A, B, finding places that keep you grounded. So like I live in LA and I go to Malibu like sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes 5. It's crazy, but I have to. I'm like,
Right.
I should probably just move there.
Right.
But even just like the second you go over that hill, you feel like
It's just like the energy.
you can breathe. You know what I mean?
And how
So
do you feel when you're in New York? Because it's some musty air out here.
I like a few different areas for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
I used to live here, so I
Yeah.
lived here for 5 years.
Whereabouts did you live in New York?
I was mostly Gramercy.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of just weaved around there, like Gramercy, and then I ended up kind of Union Square-ish, but
Okay.
which I loved.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. But right now, this trip, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like I'm back.
Yeah.
Like,
It's-
but also like the more you feel in your body and healthier, the more you're able to handle. And like I'm very sensitive to energy, and
Yeah.
there is like crowds for me. I feel like that's why you might also not be into Disney vibes. I don't know.
It's too many people.
Yeah, it's
That's
a lot.
why I hate going to
felt
Times
it,
Square.
because you're sensitive, though.
I hate going to Times Square.
It's a lot. Yeah, when I first moved here, I lived in Times Square, but I was like in my friend's mom's apartment all the way up. Like it was fine.
So it was a dope spot.
It was a
complain.
dope spot.
It was a dope spot.
Yeah, it was a dope spot. That was like before I even had a job or anything. I was
Right.
like, I want to move to New York, and my mom was like, I'm not helping. I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to Times Square, Mom.
you were gonna
that's
say
wild.
something before I
No,
interrupted
so
you.
no, all good. I was asking what made you want to go down this spiritual journey because, like, as I relate to mine, like, there was a couple things that
I was gonna ask.
I
you.
was gonna say, for lack of a better word, but I think it's a powerful word, kind of forced me to go down the journey.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could be like, oh,
Will you
no, I
share a
chose
little
to-
bit?
Maybe we'll get into it. You
Okay,
know,
fine.
we haven't had
I can
podcast.
share.
Listen,
I can share in the
This
news.
is-
we
this
haven't
is
had
the- this is the
podcasts like that.
deepest
I actually
Yeah.
like podcasts like
Yeah.
this. Joshua get like so. Let me give you a little bit. So when we first started the podcast, like our first couple episodes, like I think like the first 6 episodes we released, like each podcast was completely different vibes. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
think-
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And what I wanted
Oh,
to
yeah.
really go down was like having these deep conversations and really connecting with
Totally.
people. And I think I'll probably do it when I'm like 50 or something. Once we
No,
like
you'll do it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Why when you're
Maybe-
50?
Yeah, why would you 50?
because
How old are you now?
25.
Okay, cool.
So I got 25 years.
Yo,
Of grind.
Day by day, remember?
Day by day.
Day by day.
Maybe things
What
change.
if you want to do it tomorrow?
I mean, I could do deep conversations.
What if you guys just do one little segment called Deep Conversations?
That's an interesting.
You know-
We are talking about doing segments, so that's a good point. We could start doing a segment.
Okay. all
Don't
right.
worry about tomorrow.
Let's get deep.
We're onto something.
Yeah,
we're onto something.
Wow, we'll have to
what-
credit you. We'll have to
so-
credit you. If we make that a segment, we're gonna be like, yo,
I'll help you guys.
That's crazy. That was good. That's a good call. We
Yeah,
gotta write that down.
Wow, I like
It's
that.
on
but-
wax, so we're.
I don't know how to do the surface. It doesn't really work.
No.
I only, like, when I talk to people and they try to just tell me surface things, I'm like, how do I do this?
You know,
I don't
you want to know what I
understand.
think that people are just surface? This is going to go completely left field. I think they're NPCs.
What's an NPC?
NPC is like a computer controlled player.
Yeah,
like they're not like a real human.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I feel like
What does it stand for again?
NPC, I don't know.
it's
Not
not
player.
non-playable character.
Non-playable characters.
Yeah, and I always
Explain.
we always joke about that because, like, so for example, we moved from Michigan, and I can vividly remember the first time ever being in the World Trade Center. Pull up from the path from Jersey, you get in there, and it's like thousands of people, all just getting up, walking in this white area. It looks like a game lobby, and it's
looks
like
like
we're just walking,
white.
and it's just like everyone's just like going to their spot. It's like we're in this game where it's like my job in the game is to be like X, right? My job in the game is to go to my job at Wendy's and sit here, and this is my job. And it's just like you're that playable character. Like in, like, you ever played like Grand Theft Auto or like, you know, whatever instant
I used to
video
like
game.
Wave Runner.
Oh, okay.
I liked Luigi's Mansion.
So not Grand Theft Auto.
No, I'm not into those games.
But for example,
those are not healthy for my
no.
nervous system. personally.
I don't think they're very.
We talk about keeping the nervous
Exactly.
system calm. That doesn't do it.
It only went to my head because in the sense, like, in that game, you can like run around a town like New York and like go into like a store and
it's
there's
a free play game.
yeah, it's,
And hurt people.
and you could hurt people,
Which is why I have anxiety.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
The point of it I was trying to make was like,
Sorry, I'm kidding. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
But, like,
Never been more serious.
in the game, they're like, you can like go to like a tailor, right? And there's someone just who's a tailor, and it's like, to me that's just NPC, right? So we were like always joke around, like the people that are just like randomly, you just see something do like random stuff, you're like, wow, that can't be a real human.
But you know what's crazy? We couldn't have clothes fit us perfectly if there wasn't a tailor. And they're also a person, and they might be
for
painting.
sure, 1,000%.
They might be painting on the side.
1,000%.
They might be also a baseball player or
Maybe.
Marlins
1,000%.
baseball. Yes.
That's what's so crazy though. Is
Look at me go.
That's
I'm
what's so crazy
sporty.
though is like every
They might
person,
not be an NPC. They're just
Exactly,
pretending, or you just think they are. But
exactly.
also, your judgment of others doesn't necessarily mean that's who they are.
Oh no, 1,000%. No, we're not
But
fully
if they can't
judging
have
like
deep
that.
conversations, that's where I'm like, ooh, like it's not that they're for sure an NPC. It's just like
I
maybe.
have a hot take.
Yeah,
I want to hear it.
I think people are just afraid. People are afraid to face
course.
themselves. People don't know who they are. People aren't willing to actually look at who they are. So they're down to kind of just like be that player.
that's
Well,
probably
I
fair.
think one thing
I don't think that they're an NPC.
No, I mean we always say this.
They might be, though.
That's
We
what-
can have different
See,
opinions.
it's not
it's
for
not that
sure.
they-
It's maybe.
Maybe.
It's just maybe.
we
It's a
we
maybe.
always talk about that nothing in life is like certain. If there's not like everything is percentages, right? Like the percentage of them being an NPC could be less than 1%. It could be like 0.01%, right? But there's still a percent. And
It's
that's
cool
what we
that your
always
brain
joke.
thinks like
Like
that.
that's what I'm thinking. Like there's always a chance, right? Like there's something could
No,
happen.
you're right.
You know, there's a
There's
percentage
just
of
so
something
many
happen.
people.
I also think you think everything's percentages.
Maybe.
I think
don't know.
everything's perspective.
Maybe it could be. It's like that, and that's just perspective, right? Like
We all get to just choose what
right?
we think.
That's why that's why I like having conversations because like everyone has a different thought. Like us three, could all look at something similar and all think of something very different.
It's true.
And that's beautiful. That's why I think that it's good to have conversation. I mean, I like the.
What's your favorite part about yourself?
My favorite part of myself. I would. My favorite part about myself. I don't know.
That is a good question.
Yeah. I mean,
You guys both answer.
I never thought of it like that. I like the fact that maybe this is just how I think of myself, but I like to think of myself as very different than everyone else. Like the way I like operate, the way I do things, the way I think. I like that I can stay in my own lane. Like I'm not necessarily trying to be everyone else or trying to do anything else. And I like the fact that I'm like not afraid to grind. Like I love that like that what average people think is very hard. I'm like, bro, that's an average day. And I like that. I'm like, if people think that that's hard, I'm like, ooh.
You want to work hard.
Yes. I'm like, I want to work harder now.
Love.
If they think that that's what's hard is, like, I want to do 10 times that. And
I
it's
love
like,
it.
That's
Drive.
that's
You love your drive.
Yeah.
Love.
It gives me purpose, I feel like. Because, like, me and Zachary talk about this all the time. My hardest day of, like, where I get, like, crazy anxiety or something like that is a day we're just chilling. A day I'm just sitting around just being like, oh, let's just chill and watch TV. Like,
Really?
let's just take an off day. Let's not work out today. Let's just chill. That will be the hardest day for us. I want to have purpose every day. To me, I'm like, if I'm just sitting around doing nothing, I'm getting worse. Everyone who else is doing what I'm doing is getting better. Like, I heard this one dude say, and maybe it's just like, again, I don't know if this is healthy, but there's this guy who was like, I always envision the person who I'm like competing with, which it's always just myself. This is just like myself, but it's like my other self from a different universe, whatever, is working and I'm just chilling. And I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. I have to do something. It helps me get purpose of like what I want to do. And I'm like at a point where I'm not where I want to be yet. Right. It's the process of building that, but it's like,
will you ever be?
No, but I think that's the point, right? Like you have to stay focused, do your things. And that's the driven part. That's like I find purpose in that goal. Like, let's start a new goal. We accomplished that goal. Let's do a new goal. Let's do another. Let's do a crazier goal.
You should watch the Shaun White documentary.
Oh, I like Shaun White.
I love him.
Okay.
I didn't even realize I loved him until I just watched his documentary. It's pretty life-changing.
I mean, he's
What do you
the
love about
best.
yourself? And then we'll get into it.
Yes.
I think
This is my podcast now.
No, that's fine. Take
We
it over.
we talked about how downstairs she wanted to start a podcast. And I
do-
told her
yeah, I
yes.
do.
I was
This
like,
is our first episode.
Oh my God.
episode 1 right here.
Episode 1. Welcome to my podcast.
Man, that's such a good question, but I kind of thought of it, and then Joshua kept talking, and he kind of went into what I would say, and it's actually something I've been really fighting myself on. I've been trying to figure out how to like appreciate it and love it. I've been journaling a lot about it. The fact that I'm never satisfied. I love it. I love it because it keeps me going. It keeps me showing up, in content, at work, in life. It's like you did something, but it's like, can you do it again? Can you do it better? Can you keep showing up?
So you're
Can you be
competitive with
consistent?
yourself.
Of course, I think that's like one thing where, I played sports. So obviously I was competitive to be the best. But one thing that I really liked was the fact that I was more competitive and harder on myself. Like, I'm very sports, like it was very toxic for me, which is kind of what forced me to go down that journey. Like, I needed to like remove myself, but I was never like bad towards anybody else. I was always like towards myself, which was bad, but that's what made me good. Like, that's why I was successful. That I was like, yeah, I played all right, but like I didn't play good enough. Like, I need to be better
So
tomorrow.
you played sports forever.
Since kindergarten.
Did you also?
Yeah.
I
Sports
feel
were
like
very pushed onto
you
us.
guys both need to. They were.
Very.
Yes.
Explain.
It was
Like,
forced.
in the sense of like,
Our parents forced us.
it was more like it was pushed onto us in the sense of like, hey, we always, obviously as kids, like if your parents are into sports, as a boy, you're naturally gonna be into sports. But like, for example, it would get to a point where we were like 15, our parents have spent a ton of money on their kids playing sports.
Yeah.
They're like, I could have put you through college.
Yeah.
So you better fucking
kill it.
Yeah. And get your college paid for.
Yeah, that's stressful.
And it's like, it was like, but then they'd be like, oh, well, don't, you could quit if you want. It's like, no, I'm not, you think I could quit? So it's like,
Because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, the mentality you both have that's so similar, which also is going to continue giving you success in all different areas, wherever you want it. It's a gift, but it's like how you're wired. It's how you
Right.
have been wired. It's how you've wired yourself, and it's how you function.
For sure.
And just how when you were younger, you felt like, oh my God, I can't rest. I have to practice. I have to be the best.
Yeah.
It's kind of like still the same, but actually there's such power in acknowledging that, diving deep into it, understanding it, but then also being like, I'm gonna take a rest day.
right.
It could be once a month. Like,
Right.
it doesn't have to be every week.
Right.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Or a rest afternoon. Like,
Yeah.
it's very rare that I wake up and don't do something. Like, I always gotta do something. But it's
a rest
like
afternoon is interesting.
A rest
I like that.
afternoon, but also soak it in and be like, I'm going to practice this, and I'm going to practice the stillness. I'm going to feel this, and I'm going to start to dive deep into like why I feel the need to never stop.
Right. That's a good
But
point.
I'm going to keep being competitive with myself because it's fun and
it's
I
good.
love it, and it's my drive and it's my passion and we love it.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's good to compete with yourself.
Just
But
an
it's
opinion.
healthy, right? But it's like that is something that I probably don't do enough. Like I could self-reflect. I mean, I do it a lot more now, but I could
Day by
self-reflect,
day.
you know.
Day
I
by
definitely
day.
do a little bit. You know, I meditate,
Yeah.
I journal. Obviously, I go to therapy. I love walks. Love working out, which I think is not really stillness, but you're still.
No,
it's kind
it
of like
is.
it's kind of
It's
like
meditation.
that. It's kind of like that going to like battle, right? Because I've been working out 5-6 days a week since like 7th grade. I'm 25 now, so I've been pretty well at it.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, maybe once a week, probably less, do I actually want to work out. A lot of it's me being like, I have to work out, but I like go there and I'm like not really enjoying it, but I always feel better after. So it's like I chase the energy after the fact that I'm telling myself the whole time, like, you'll feel better after. You'll feel better after. Because like the days we don't work out, I'm always like, man, I kind of like let myself down.
I would say you're just listening to your body if you're not working out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Unless you're just being lazy, but I doubt it.
Zachary's definitely an extremist when it comes to things like that.
I
in
think
that
I
sense.
am with the workouts too, though.
Yeah.
Like I work out like probably like 6 days a week.
Yeah, and I
have to work out
I
6
work.
days a
Me
week.
too. But I don't feel mentally well if I don't. For
Same,
me,
same.
it's like a part of my routine. It's a part of my day. Like moving my body is not only meditation, but it's like it's for me. It's something I do for me. It's not for you. It's not for anyone else. It's literally something I do for me, and it's like it allows me to feel confident. It allows me to have endorphins. It allows me to have energy. Like when I can't think of something or I'm caught up in a crazy thought and I go work out, it usually comes to me. I'll be fine. Like
Right.
I don't know.
I'm really actually happy you said that about the routine, because that's one thing that it's actually helped me. Maybe it's just helped me justify the fact that I feel the need to work out every day. It's like the daily routine where I'm like telling myself like you need to do this so you have like an opportunity to have a good day. So I actually want to transition that because I was curious. What are your daily non-negotiables? Like things you have to do every single day to like have the best day. And if you don't, you feel like a mess.
Okay, fair. Wow. Mine are not that complicated. They're pretty simple. I love red light therapy.
Ooh.
I have a little portable red light device. It's amazing.
That's dope.
And for me, obviously, I have a lot of things I have to do, like anti-inflammatory stuff, because Lyme is super inflammatory. And I deal with a lot of different kind of health things. So I found some stuff, all like holistic, nice things that help keep me feeling as best as I can.
Right.
So I always do a cold shower, contrast therapy, cold to hot. I'll do like freezing if I can.
Saw
for
that on
like,
your threads. Saw that on your threads.
You
Yes,
follow me? Oh, you follow me on threads.
Yeah, saw that.
I love threads.
Yes, I know. I could tell.
I'm a big
Yeah,
threads fan. I think I'm gonna be.
Threads or Twitter?
I would like to be number one on threads. I'm gonna be competitive with myself on
I
that
love
one.
that. I love that. I love that.
Threads. I used to tweet back in the day, but like my Twitter got hacked and deleted 6 years ago, and I just never got it back.
Yeah, I mean,
I had like 100,000 followers. I just was like, whatever.
Damn.
I just thought it was better. I was like, you know what? I started this when I was like little.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
Like I started it little. So it's like, what's 10-year-old Alexa tweeting? I have no
Funny
idea.
shit.
Hilarious stuff,
Funny
I'm
shit.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm good.
100%.
I'm okay. Threads, we feel good. We're 29. We know who we are.
Absolutely.
Like we're feeling
That's-
inspired.
I like
We're in a
that.
transitional phase. We want to inspire others.
That's why you need a podcast. But
I know.
I do want to wrap things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you the closing question.
Yes.
So shout out to 137 for hosting us today.
Thank you guys so much.
But
Also, we're gonna have to do this again.
yes,
We didn't even start.
This is part 2.
Did we even start?
We need a.
It's the warm up.
This is the warm up. This is the warm up. This is the
Yeah,
warm up.
this is
We
just
had
the
to.
warm-up.
We had to. It's either going to be again in New York when you come back,
Yeah.
or if we go to LA because we already.
Come to
Or
LA.
Boca. Do you live in Boca?
You love Boca.
I love Boca.
We
I
can
love
go to
it.
Boca.
But
We can-
listen,
we can
I
go to
say
Boca.
We
that-
can
I
go.
say
We
that-
can
I say
go.
this.
We can go do it on the beach in Boca.
Florida, actually.
Yeah.
So I lived there on and off for 2.5 years.
Okay.
Florida, I first went there, fell in love with it. Came back home to Michigan. I was like, I could live in Florida. Then I went to Arizona for like a month.
Yeah.
Fell in love with Arizona. Then
I've
I went back to.
never been.
Then I went back to Florida. I was like, Florida's kind of scary, but I fell in love with Boca because
Focus
it was
everything.
the only place in Florida that I felt like it was like calm.
Right.
Obviously, I lived on the side that wasn't FAU, which is Florida Atlantic University.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
people who
yeah.
don't know, because it's like split down the middle.
By
It's
Whole
college and then it's like
Foods.
retirement.
The movies.
Yeah.
But I love Boca, so maybe we could do Boca too.
So
We could do Boca.
to close it up, because we only
Yes.
have this room for 10 more minutes.
Okay.
But
Josh is stressed.
what are you curious about? What are you curious about that others would not expect?
Everything. Absolutely. I know
Elaborate.
you want an answer,
Elaborate.
but absolutely everything. If I meet someone and they're like, I'm a sculptor, I'm like, teach me let's go sculpt. Like, I don't know how to sculpt. Like, that's crazy. Teach me everything. Like, same with like a painter, someone who
Yeah.
does pottery, or like, I don't know. I mean, I'm good on like the financial analytics stuff. Like,
Okay.
I'm good. You can do that for me. You know,
Okay.
like the whole like finance,
Right,
like
right.
whatever. I'd love to learn about stocks.
Right.
More.
Right.
I want to learn about it, but I don't want to be doing your taxes for sure. I'm good to not actually do that. So
Yeah.
I'm not curious
You're
about
like health
that.
and wellness over taxes.
Health and wellness over taxes. But
Taxes
like,
do
I'd
suck.
love to learn how to like play baseball. I don't know how to play baseball.
Whoa,
I
right.
played when I was
Vlog.
little.
There's a vlog coming.
That's a vlog.
That's a vlog.
That's a vlog.
It's a vlog right
You're
there.
gonna teach me how to play baseball.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
vlog.
good vlog.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Hey.
Check out
That's
a Miami
fun.
Marlins game or
Hey.
something.
You can teach me how to play hockey.
Yes.
I don't know how well it will go. I
Hockey
can
will be
actually
tough.
ice skate.
Oh, so if you can skate, then
I can skate.
We're halfway.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was about
from
to say,
Florida.
It would be
We're
better if you
halfway.
couldn't skate.
No,
Wait,
that would be hospital.
Just straight bending
That would be
ankles on the ice.
hospital. But like, I don't know. I want to learn how to produce. Like, I want to learn how to make beats, and like,
Oh.
I'm a
Ooh,
writer, so I can write crazy.
Love
so I'm
that.
like, let me make some songs.
Hey, we know a couple producers. We
Let's
just
do
our
it.
last episode before you, Eon Zero,
Let's
Yeah.
get them in,
bro. Eon,
Let's do
KJ,
it.
what you got going
and KJ, what you got
Why
going
not?
on,
KJ,
man?
what you got going on? You have any time?
Yeah, let's
We gotta
go.
clip that. We gotta clip that for KJ. He'll
Yeah,
love
we
that.
gotta clip that. All right, Alexa,
Yeah.
we really appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
This was
Part
incredible.
2 coming.
Part
soon.
2 coming
Part
soon.
2. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had them bitches so the high and niggas so the hello. I sold them packs to get them racks shit. I was stuck on my lows. And now I'm trying to get up. I told them niggas what's up. And now I'm singing, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. If you gon' go, then go, don't tell me you won't. I want them diamonds on my neck to make me look like I'm cold. That ain't for you and none of these hoes, that's just for me and my bros. I gotta fight for my balls, I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on the road. We about to get all this dough. We ain't no fuck niggas, no. I swear to God, we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you